Let's talk about glossophobia. Glossophobia. It's a scourge of mankind. That is the fear of public speaking. Does anybody want to admit that they'd rather get jabbed in the eye with a sharp stick than speak in public? Well, you're not alone. Glossophobia affects up to 75% of people. Seinfeld tells a joke, probably much better than I do, but he says,
no doubt,
he read a study that the number one fear people have is the fear of public speaking. Death is number 2, which means for the average person that goes to a funeral, he would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy.
No.
So you're not alone, but I want to give you a few hints today, and I want to take you back to 1988. 1988, Taylor Swift wasn't born yet. George H.W. was the president. The number one song was Faith by George Michael. So you can get that tune going through your head. 1988, William at that point had only been able to save his clients hundreds of dollars.
Hadn't even come over to the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
I'll still, pull him over the coals back then.
And no Bob Griffin jokes. That would be too easy for me. Too easy. But 1988, I was asked to make a presentation, and I completely froze. Complete panic attack, mouth dry, palms sweaty, could not get my words out. And I said that night that happened that never again, that I wanted to get on top of that, right? So 4 years later, I spoke to a crowd of 500 senior executives and pulled it off. So what's the secret? The only real secret is repetition. You just have to do it over and over and over again until you get used to it. You got to trick your brain because it's about fight or flight or freeze. That's what your brain is telling you to do in those situations, and you got to trick your brain just by exercising it, by doing it over and over again. But I want to give you 4 suggestions for harnessing your fear of public speaking. So if you have to make a big presentation, if you focus on these 4 things, number 1, be passionate. Passion, because there's a fine line between fear and excitement. Fear and passion. So we talked one time about doing the Wonder Woman pose, right, before your presentation. But if you have passion, it can mask your fear, it can harness your fear, get the butterflies flying in formation. Number 2 is to rehearse. That is just do it over and over and over again. Picture yourself in front of the crowd and rehearse. Number 3, start strong, because the audience will judge in the first 60 seconds. And you overcome your nervousness after about 60 seconds. So know your first 60 seconds down cold. And then number 4 is think about talking to people. It's not public speaking, you're just talking to people. And I honestly, not bragging, but I could talk to 10,000 people and be just as comfortable as talking to 10 people, because I think about talking to one person at a time. Find the person who's going to nod and be supportive of you all the time and look at them, but you're only talking to one person at a time. So if you do those 4 things and then just do it over and over again, we can defeat the scourge of glossophobia. Thanks.